Well, hello, everyone.
Hi,
Hi.
everybody.
Hi.
Here we are, Mel, Nancy, and Acey. It's such a pleasure to have Acey from Sparkling Lotus Inc. with us
Yeah.
today. Um, Mel and I just love her. And if you check her channel out, you will love her too.
She has a
No
lot, a
pressure.
lot of
No
wisdom.
pressure.
Well, it's so nice to have everybody here. I want to go through, let's see. We've got Scott from Scorpio Sun Tarot and Jackie Jacaranda, our wonderful mod.
Hi.
We've got Ginger Faye
Hi,
from
Ginger.
Ginger Faye's Musings. And I'm not sure what else. Musings and I'm sorry, Ginger. We've got the lovely Miss Tarot D.
Miss Tarot D. Yes.
Yes. And the beautiful Susie Gemini.
Mwah!
And we have Ramon from Moon Scarab. It's so
Hi,
nice to
Oh,
have
Ramon.
all of you with us. It really is. And I just wanted to tell you all that Ramon has a new poem up about the chariot that I found absolutely beautiful. So, when we're done here, go on over to his channel and listen to that beautiful poem that he created. Well, Acey,
yes.
tell us a little bit before we get really started. Tell us a little bit about your channel.
Okay. My channel is called Sparkling Lotus Inc. And it's not just tarot, it's kind of all of my spiritual and creative practices rolled into the practice of life. So it's tarot and oracles. It's my crafting, my fiber art. I'm going to talk a little bit about writing. I'm going to maybe talk a little bit about trance dancing for creative purposes. But flower essences, as you know, and my love of flowers, and so a lot about earth magic, earth medicine, and the green world, because that's where I've devoted a lot of my time and attention.
Well, I am fascinated by your channel, and you are a wealth of information. We have Bella joining us. Hi, Bella.
Hi,
And Miss
Bella.
Kara G says, by the way, I love Moon Scarab's voice, and he has wonderful content. I
Yes.
love his
Absolutely.
voice too. I
Yeah.
love his
Very
voice
soothing
too.
voice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
See, we're saying good things about you, Ramon. Oh,
You
and
see, I particularly like all your herbology stuff because
Yeah.
I've really been getting into herbs and I really want to learn more. And you're a great resource for that too.
yes.
Well,
Hi,
that's one of my
Teresa.
big passions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How AC, how did you decide to come to YouTube?
Well, I knew someone who kept saying to me, if you would go on YouTube, you would find new people who care about what you have to
Mm-hmm.
say. And that would be invigorating for you. And you might make some new friends because they were aware that I'd taken a hit over the past couple of years in my living friends. So that happened, and I thought it seemed like a good idea. And then I saw that a couple of videos for the hashtag 22 majors, and it just really inspired me. I dug out
Mm-hmm.
cards and I prepared a video, and I said, obviously, this is something I want to do. So I just did it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did. I'm glad
Me
you
too.
did.
Yeah.
Do you
Hi,
have a
Pisces. It's nice to see you here.
yes.
I,
Yeah. Um, do you have a favorite of all of the things that you do? Is it your fiber arts or your
I think
oh
that
no.
my favorite thing that I do is when the times when I just kind of sit down in my sacred space room and do a top down, and I just talk about what I've been doing. Maybe I show my sticks and my stones, and I just kind of share, like, one of my favorite videos was the one I did about the hawthorn. I don't know if you saw that, where I go and I walk along the road and I just describe everything I did. I felt like it was very genuine sharing. I felt like there was a lot of information, and more importantly, inspiration for other people to go, well, what could I do where I live? You know, that's
Yeah.
always one of my big goals, is to not so much to talk about what I'm doing, but to use what I'm doing as an example that might spark other people to do something of their own. And it could be a completely different thing. It's more about the spark.
Yeah.
Hi, Mariah.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Exactly. Sticks and stones.
Yes. Well, I know that you have inspired me, certainly. And I know you've also, I'm not going to speak for Mel, but I am going to speak for Mel and say you've inspired her too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, look at what Susie says. I love that, Acey. You have helped me renew my interest in my love of flowers.
Well, nothing could make me happier, because flowers are why we're alive, right? Flowers make our food. Flowers make everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing could make me happier.
Well, you also have a beautiful crystal collection. Did you bring any of your crystals?
I did bring some of my crystals. I brought some that we talked about, and then I brought this one just because it wanted to be included. This is the birthing rock. Let's see, where is
There you go. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And you can see how it sparkles, even though it's in very low light. You can see that it sparkles. But let me show something.
What was that called? The birth thing?
Well, I call it the birthing rock because it was given to my mother when she found out she was carrying me, when she got the news she was pregnant.
Oh.
And
Wow.
I don't know how to show it here. If you look
That's
at it
perfect.
sideways, it looks like a birthing mother. And if you look at it this way, it looks like a crowning baby.
That's
See what I
right.
mean? Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
Huh.
it's a very special rock. It also has this wonderful little cave in it that is like, it almost looks like the kind of caves that they would build in the Kivas in the Southwest, and the native tribes would then go down into a sweat lodge.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like a meditating thing. But I have talked about this on my channel, so I thought it might be fun to show it more close up where you can really see it.
The shape of it is amazing, and the fact that it was a gift,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it was given to her, because that's what it looked like. And I brought the scrying rock too.
Oh,
I love that. Yeah.
Isn't it amazing?
And see, I still see that guy with his
See,
arms
I thought this was
outstretched.
Noah. I thought this was Noah and the ark. Or
Yeah.
maybe the ark exploding and the great flood.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
but it's very
gorgeous.
beautiful. Thank you,
Yeah.
Scott. Thank you. I like your channel. I'm glad you subscribed to mine. Thank you very much.
Oh, and Ramon at
thank you,
Moonterra
Ramon.
says,
Thank
I follow
you.
both Mel and Acey's channels. They're awesome.
Thank you, Ramon.
Well, I love it how we support each other. And the thing that I think is fascinating about Acey is the fact that her grandmother and her mother were kind of steeped in crystals. Is that right, Acey?
Not my grandmother so much.
Oh, no?
My mother
Oh,
was
okay.
steep. When my mother came home and left my father before I was born, and that was the right choice. She had a group of friends that gathered around her to form a positive influence in her life and get her out socializing. Everyone hoped she'd meet someone, more appropriate.
Right.
So she became involved with rock hounding, and she became involved with a big group of people. In those times, it was not unusual to have a mineralogical society. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
like in the county. So the county where I grew up had a very very active mineralogist. I mean, we could walk around in our suburban neighborhood and visit people. It was just a very big hobby, and so she would go out. She would go rock hounding, and I there's lots of pictures of me in a cardboard box. When I was a little kid, that was my security system. They put me in a cardboard box, and then they went out and hunted for rocks, and it was fun. It was people were very nice to me. People gave me stones. So I have stones that I've had my whole
Mm-hmm.
life. This is something that I collected. This is a piece of aquamarine um, that was like a core sample at a
Ooh.
quarry. And my mother and one of her friends had myself and their son reach our little hands in and grab as many as we could. And both of us, we talked about this since then. We talked about this about 2 years ago, and we said we both understood that our mothers were teaching us how to steal. Now, we were raised in the church. They were both teachers at a Christian day school, and we had this huge cognitive dissonance. And we both had these rocks from that experience that we have not quite known how to process, because we both knew better than to challenge them and say, "You're teaching us to steal." That wouldn't have worked out. That would not have worked out. But that was an odd story. I don't know why I told that. Here's a really beautiful piece of amethyst to forget about. Look how twinkly it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And this is another friend that I've had my whole life. Somebody gave this to me for my birthday. I was probably 7 or 8.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Mods. It looks like you're going to be working hard tonight.
I just wanted to tell Tarot Destroyer that I like being a low lifer. I guess if I'm a low lifer, I like being it.
Yeah, yeah. No, those are gorgeous stones. Those are
Yeah.
gorgeous stones. Um, do you have any questions for Acey, Mel?
Um, if there would, I started with mugwort,
Right.
and I have found so many benefits with the mugwort. But what I'm really finding works best for me is not to burn it, but to simmer it on my stovetop.
Yep.
And I just bought, if you don't mind, I'll show it.
Sure.
Um, Amazon, where else? A little tiny crock pot. And
Oh,
here's
that's
the lid. It's
perfect.
got the
That's,
venting. And I
oh,
thought this would be perfect to steam some mugwort in.
yeah.
And
Yes.
what I like to do is just go over it and inhale the steam. And
Yes.
I am finding a lot of relief with that. But it seems like the smoke in it is just too heavy
Yeah.
and too harsh. I've got lemon balm. I haven't really done anything with that yet. I'm wondering, what can I look for if I steam the lemon balm the same way?
When you say look for, do you mean how is it going to affect you?
Yeah, what
Okay.
typically are the
Lemon balm is a
benefits?
very, very mild, it has very, very mild sedating and very gentle kind of antidepressant. So you can expect to relax and feel a little uplifted at the same time. A lot of times, your body will start to release tension. It also has antibacterial uh, properties to it. So it's not a bad thing to just sort of gently inhale, because it will help. It will help any sort of germs. We're coming into a time of year where there's just germs around,
Hmm.
Okay,
and so it
okay.
helps sort of clear the atmosphere of some of the toxins.
Would I be better off making a tea, or is just brewing it and having it in the air around me enough?
You can make a tea. You can make a tea if you want to. It's a very, very gentle herb. It's a very safe herb. If you are prone to acidic kind of like buildup in your body,
Mhm.
I usually would advise you to eat something with it, even if it's just half a piece of toast or something, because it has a high enough acid content that if you're not used to it, you want to make sure that it doesn't give you a little bit of heartburn. I've
Okay.
never had that problem, but
Okay.
some people do.
Okay.
AC, Susie Gemini wants to know, how do we purchase from AC? I would love to know for down the road this season. Thank you.
What does she want to purchase from me?
I don't know.
I sell flower essences. I sometimes do consults with people, but not kind of I haven't held a shingle out for it. It just seems to kind of happen, like psychic consults that have to do with herbs and flower essences and things in your environment that you want to boost that have to do with nature. But I don't really have a product line other than the flower essences.
I
Do
don't
you
have.
grow holy basil?
Excuse me?
Do you
Wool?
grow holy basil?
Yes, I do. I do
Oh,
grow holy
okay.
basil.
Okay.
I have grown it every year for the past 14 years. I've grown it every year that we've been here in the
Okay.
summer. So
That's
for the
going to be
past,
the next one I get into is holy basil.
it's pretty easy to grow.
Okay.
Mariah wants to know, what are the benefits of lemon verbena?
Lemon verbena is a beautiful herb. Lemon verbena calms the nerves. It soothes the central nervous system. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to have in a tea, either by itself or in combination with. I like it with lemon. I'm not lemon. What am I saying? I like it with lavender. Lavender and lemon verbena together make a lovely, relaxing tea. It can be nice too if you're trying to give up coffee, and in the morning you want to have something that isn't so jacked up. You can have lemon verbena and maybe some spearmint, and it will be a nice brightening effect that may help you learn how to pull back on the caffeine. Those are the things I know. You can also make an oil out of it, and it's wonderful for wood, just to
Everybody
recondition your
wants,
wood.
oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, AC. Everybody
No.
wants to know, what is holy basil?
Okay, holy basil is also known by the name of Tulsi. It grows in Asia. It's very, very popular in India. It's used a lot in Ayurvedic medicine, and it grows very easily in any kind of temperate zone. You can grow it in pots or in the ground. It grows easily, just like the kind of culinary basil that you're used to, but it has a spicy, very, very unique scent to it that goes right into your brain. And it's brightening for your brain. It will help you to focus primarily because it also helps. It just releases your stress hormones go way down. It kind of neutralizes the stress hormones. It's used in sacred ritual. It's used in ordinary cooking, and it has tons of healing benefits.
Is that considered a bitter too?
No, I don't think it is considered a bitter. I
Okay.
think it would probably be considered a spicy.
Okay.
I
Okay.
wanted, the reason I got up, I wanted to show you um, what AC taught me to do. This is what is called a mother stock of flower essence, and the flower is magnolia. And if she can teach me to do it, she can teach anybody to do it. Thank you, AC.
I think you were a very, very gifted. Uh, you were very gifted, and you followed you followed everything. You had the established relationship with the tree and the plant, and it spoke to you, and you listened. You valued your experience. That was the very first thing I said in the first Flower Essence series videos. I said, value your experience, and you did that.
What do you do with the herb after you've like simmered it or boiled it down or soaked it up as much as you can?
What do I personally do with it? Well, first of all, I remove it from the infusion, whatever the infusion is. Um, and then I put it. I usually take it to a Gaia rock. I have a certain rock outside where I return all the spent plant materials from
Oh, okay.
anything that I make,
Okay.
because I think it's good to return it in a kind of ritualistic and deliberately special kind of sacred way. I think that kind of completes the process. You return it
Okay.
to the earth.
I've been
So I would
putting it
just
in my
find a place.
compost, so
Yeah,
that's
put it in your
okay.
compost. Yeah, you can
Okay.
put it in your compost. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
What
do
other,
any
for beginners, would there be like maybe 5 herbs you might recommend that they work with?
Well, it kind of depends on the first thing to do is to eliminate any sensitivities. If someone is allergic to mint, that eliminates a lot of plants right off the top. So the first thing you need to know is your own sensitivities. If you have any allergies that might inhibit you, I'm trying to remember what the herbs were I said yesterday. I know I mentioned holy basil. I mentioned lavender. I mentioned calendula. I can't.
elderflower?
Elderflower, yes. Elderflower is wonderful. And so are elderberries that come from the flowers. What was the
Mm-hmm.
fifth one, Nancy? Did you write it down?
Uh, I've got
What?
lavender, elderflower,
Calendula?
calendula,
Calendula?
lemon.
Lemon balm.
Yeah, lemon balm and the
Mhm.
tulsi
Yeah.
or holy
So
basil.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever
I
done anything
mention
with,
them all because they're all easy to grow. They're all easy to attain the seeds of the plants. It's not like you're going to be running all over looking for them. And they all have multiple benefits, and they're rewarding because they're easy to grow. And when you're able to succeed at something, your interest is going to stay higher than if
yeah,
you play them
Mm-hmm.
out. Yeah.
yeah. I have
Does
catnip in my backyard. Is catnip any good?
Catnip's very good. Catnip is a beautiful sedative. You can make catnip tea. Um, you can mix it with lavender, maybe some mint to sweeten it up.
Oh, okay. All right.
I wondered if anybody in the chat has any questions for AC. It doesn't
Well,
just
it seems like they're talking about their own herbal experiences
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah,
I put up for Mariah said it was delicious. Always mix lemon verbena with Vietnamese coriander.
yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, it
That
does.
sounds real good.
Hi, Sonia.
Yeah, hi, Sonia. Hi, Gina. I didn't see you come in. Hi, Gina.
No, I just wondered if anybody had any questions about any herbs or any of that. Okay. Okay. Susie said yes. Saint John the Conqueror
Saint John
is
contains Saint
it
John Conqueror root.
is that for psychic work?
It can be used for psychic work. It's somewhat toxic. You want to be careful how you use it, and you want to make sure to wash your hands thoroughly if you're touching it and it's fresh. I know how to use High John Conqueror root dried in various workings, and I don't do anything to ignite the oils from it, such as heating it up or putting water on it. I just work with it in a dried capacity because that's safest. A good herb for leg muscle cramps. You know what might be really good for it would be rosemary. If you have rosemary around, you could make an infusion or you could make an oil from it and put the oil on. Rosemary is very soothing and it has a lot of ability to loosen tight congestion, kind of lumps in the muscles. Because usually muscle cramps, you'll get those like lumpy places. It will really, really help to loosen them up. It's
Oh,
not a
that's good to
miracle
know.
cure. It's not a miracle cure if you have really, really bad cramps, but it can be very helpful.
Mariah said, found stinging nettle in the garden this year. Actually, it found me.
Yeah.
LOL. I know it's beneficial, but she doesn't know what it, she doesn't want, she's not sure what for, and she doesn't want it in the garden, I don't think.
No, it's. I have some growing right by my house, and I keep it there because I feel like it's a good protector. But you only want to use it in the spring, before there are various fibers that just turn the sting in it. Yeah, you want to try it. Oh, good. I'm glad that you will try it. I hope that it's helpful for you. Um, to Ms. Tarot D. To get back to this other thing, you can stew it, you can steam it, and eat it as a kind of spinach type of vegetable. But again, you want to do that in the early spring. I know a lot of herbalists who collect it in the spring and dry it and then grind it up for use throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
The nettles, I mean.
Yes. Yes. Does anybody else have any questions? I'm going to shift gears and go to Tarot if unless we have any more questions. I don't want to cut anybody off though if they do have a question. You have any more, Mel?
Well, if I do, I'll cut you off and go back to it. Is that okay?
Okay, that sounds fine. That sounds fine to me. I wondered when did you let's see, here's okay, here Gina says where I live there is lore. Nettles grow next to burdock plant. They are to take the leaf and put out the sting of the nettle.
That's very
interesting.
interesting to me. You know why? Because burdock, the seed pods from burdock are one of the itchiest things. You look at one of those things and you're itching for 2 days. They have a very, very strong. So it's interesting to me that you can use the leaves to take out the sting of the nettles. I had not known that. That's very interesting.
It is. It's fascinating. Susie says, thank you, Acey. She could listen for hours about herbs and flowers.
Me too.
That's very
Me
sweet
too.
of you, Susie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was younger,
Hi,
I never
Kiva.
found time for gardening, and now I regret it.
Well, it was always in my life as a kid. And then as soon as I moved to the city in a place where there was a backyard, I was like, we're digging it up. And ever since then, I've had a garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kiva has joined us.
Hi,
Hi,
Kiva.
Well, if we don't have any other questions, we can always come back to it if somebody thinks of something.
Oh, sure.
I was just wondering how you got into tarot.
Okay. Well, let's just jump right into the deep water. I got into tarot when I was 15. My grandmother got sick and went in the hospital. We discussed that. And when she went in the hospital, they didn't tell her what was wrong with her. They didn't tell her she was dying of cancer. And I was very angry about that. So they started sending me to stay with my mother's best friend, who was a Renaissance history professor. And he also was very, very, very into the occult. And he was a functional alcoholic. So he would sit in his apartment and drink and just lecture me about various aspects of the occult. and he gave me two decks that for deck collectors are pretty hot tickets. But he gave me a '69 greenie, a top deck, and he gave me one of the gold RWSs to work with. Well, they both freaked me out. The top really triggered me. And I don't know how much it had to do with triggering from trauma in my past, and how much of it was just, it was so traumatic that my grandmother was dying and no one was telling her she was dying. And I was being, treated like a loose cannon for having emotions about it. And that all got bound up with my feelings about Crowley and RWS and Golden Dawn. And I finally, when I was 19, the long and the short of it is, when I was 19, I found a deck I could relate to. And then I took off. Then I really did take off, and I would find different decks, and I would find different people. And I lived in Boston. I used to go down to the public garden, and there are 3 willow trees that are very, very well known in Boston, and people who come to Boston. And I thought of them as the tarot trees, because every time I went there, Nancy, I would find tarot cards on the ground, or I would find lists where people had written down, had done a reading for themselves, or someone had done a reading for them, and there would be a list of like 8 tarot cards or so forth. And so it just kept coming back into my life once I was on my own. And I started to look for friends who were into it, and I always had, friends and who were as into it as I was.
Well, I envy you and Mel because you got started early, both of you, and I did not find it until much, much later. See, everybody missed you, Mel. Oh,
I
okay.
didn't want you to see my PJs. I needed to get up for more water, but oh well. I don't dress for vanity. I dress for comfort.
Smart woman. What was the deck that turned the key for you, Acey?
Well, the deck that turned the key for me was the Mother Peace deck. And I know that that's having like a second or a third go round with being very, very controversial. But that's the deck that turned the key for me, the Mother Peace deck. The fact that the cards were round, the fact that there was more of a matrilinear focus, and I really liked the big guidebook, and I learned a lot from it, and it changed everything.
I'd like to just stop here and tell Kristen Louise that we love her very much, and we are sending sincere condolences regarding the death of her mother.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kristen.
But she has had, I'm sure, a beautiful transition, and she's in a good place.
She's paving the way for you too.
Yeah. We love you, Kristen.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. We've talked about crystals and tarot and herbs.
Yeah. Flowers came first.
Well, flowers came first because flowers are so beautiful.
Yes.
And something that I have learned from Acey that I never really paid attention to before, really, is how flowers communicate and trees communicate. I had never listened before. That you can actually have a conversation with flowers and a tree. And it sounds crazy, but you know what? It's true. It's true if you open up yourself. Also crystals. I am learning how crystals communicate.
Yep.
And they're kind of loud sometimes.
Well, they can be very loud.
Yeah.
I think, you're talking about other forms of sentience, and they have their own ways of communicating.
Yes. Yes.
Well, you probably think I'm crazy, but that crystal ball talks to me too.
Oh, I would think so. You have
Oh,
a
yeah.
you have a very,
I
very
believe
powerful
that.
relationship.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love my crystal ball.
Mm-hmm. Miss Tara D, I had a little oak tree. Well, what happened was the squirrel planted an acorn under our deck and forgot where it was. And it took years for this poor little oak tree to get big enough for me to even notice it. And I wanted it transplanted, but I couldn't get under there to do it. And we eventually had to remove it, but not before I got part of this tree, which I have named Merlin, and I have the top of it here in my sacred space. And he's happy. He's not in the landfill. He's with somebody who loves him.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all a bit crazy. That's right. But
Yeah, I was laughing at that. Yeah.
Merlin loves me.
I always said I never wanted to be normal. So my kids tell me I made it.
Yeah. Well,
I'm cold. I can feel the season changing. Definitely.
Oh,
Yeah. I have been cold all day long. I'm not sure why. I don't want to turn the heat on yet though. I had it on a little bit the other day and it's like, no, I don't want to do that. But I got a hunch I'll be turning the heat on tonight.
well, I am looking forward to the cooler weather because I like to keep my house cool enough to where I put on a sweater or something when the weather's cold.
Yeah.
And my husband, he got so cold, so our house was pretty much 85 degrees year round. And
That's hot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very hot. So in the dead of winter, I was running around in tank tops and cutoffs. And so I have been purchasing some warm, snuggly things that I'm going to be wearing. So I'll have my heat on, but I have a fireplace but I'm looking forward to being a little chilly. Jackie wants to know if we have any new decks. Well, speaking of new decks, I do have one that came today, and it is an Acey made me do it. Oh, I agree with that. Let's see. Can't wait to light the first fire in the fireplace.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah. Sonia says it might explain why squirrels chatter at her so much. But the new deck that I got, Acey mentioned it in her the tag that she did that was Kelly Bear started the 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And she was talking about one of the Hanged Man was her favorite card until she got this particular deck. And it is the Global Fusion Intuitive Tarot. Do any of you all have this? I know Acey does. Does anybody else have it? And I wanted to show you the Hanged Man card because when she mentioned this, I knew I had to have it. Let me see here. Wait a minute. Let me find it. Here it is. Who does this remind you of? Can you all see it? This is the Hanged Man in this deck.
I see the guitar. Looks like John Lennon.
Well,
Is it John Lennon upside down?
no, I think it's Jimi Hendrix.
So do
Oh,
I.
okay. Okay.
So do
But
I.
yeah, but it's really cool. I love it. And there's so much detail in these cards. It's crazy.
Mm.
Well, you know what I heard, Nancy, is I had seen a walkthrough with a Kickstarter. One of the things you could do is you could get a bigger deck that were altar cards. And I wish that they were available, for the public after the deck was published, because I'd
Uh-huh.
love to have the bigger cards where you could see more of the details. Because there is so much detail in those cards.
Yes, there is. There is. And I'm looking forward to later tonight. I'm going to snuggle up in bed. And oh, the deck is the Global Fusion Intuitive Tarot Guidebook, written and illustrated by Wayne Rodney. And this is what I know. I've got the StreamYard logo, but I don't know how to I don't know how to
Nancy,
make
flip spots with me. I don't care if you block my face.
how do I do that?
Just click and drag one of us to the other side. There you go.
Oh, okay. There we go. Can you see
Oh,
that
yeah,
okay?
you can see it much better now.
Yeah, let me show you Jimmy again. Since you didn't see him last time. Let me see. Here we go. This is wait a minute, no, that's not it. I've kind of got them all messed up here. Just a minute. Well, I don't know. I can't find him now. I just put him back in the deck. I'm not sure where I put him. Is that your favorite card, or what's your favorite card in this deck, Acey?
That's my favorite card. When I did the 22 majors, that was the Hangman card that I picked.
Uh-huh.
That is my favorite card. I just fell in love with it.
Here's the Seven of Cups.
Yeah.
I've got them all messed up now. It's just here's the Ace of Swords.
I like that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of very, very
It's a dandelion.
yes.
Oh, wow.
This is the first time I haven't really looked through it that much because I got Amazon delivers kind of late here.
I was going to say you haven't had it that long, have you?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Here's the
No.
Ten of Swords. No, it's not Pippish.
No.
I don't think it is. Do you?
No, I don't. I wouldn't call it a Pippish deck. All those suit cards have stories to them. Those aren't Pippish. I wouldn't say that.
Here's the Hermit. I know a lot of people like to see the Hermit.
I don't remember that StreamYard logo being that big. I think they did change, Ginger.
I'm not sure. Here it is. I'm sorry it took me so long. It's a big deck. There he is. Yeah. Mel, have you gotten any new decks?
I did. And I'm too lazy to get up and get it. But it's one of those little mini ones. It's Stacy DeMarco's Wishcraft.
Oh, yeah.
And it's real cute. Maybe I will go get it.
Okay.
I got a deck. A friend of mine.
Days. I'll be right back.
A friend of mine gave me a deck. It's called the Lantern Guide deck. Where do I put this? Okay, the Lantern Guide.
There you
deck.
go.
Yeah.
The Lantern Guide.
Yeah, and It's an artist made deck. It's one of those pandemic made decks where an artist said, well, I'm stuck in the house. Why don't I make a tarot deck? And her style of work is incredible. Look at this. This is a painting.
Oh my goodness.
That's the Fool.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
And look at the back of the cards. You can't really see them here, but it's like a night sky with falling stars.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very beautiful. It's just very beautiful. Here's the Magician. They're very painterly. They're very painterly. Here's the High Priestess. And she didn't, I think she was someone who learned about tarot because she wanted to make a deck. But they're very evocative. I like the Emperor a lot. Here's the Emperor. You know, I'm very picky about the Emperors.
Yeah, yeah. Miss Tara D, I pay for StreamYard. So
You
I'm
should
not
be able
sure.
to get rid of that logo then. If you pay for it, you should be able to get rid of that.
I don't know. I don't know why it's I wonder if I could move it. No, it won't let me move it.
Huh.
So that's strange.
I got this deck. Do you have this?
I don't.
No.
What is it?
It's real cute. It's called Wishcraft. It's by Stacy DeMarco. It's more what do you call it? Affirmation type deck. But each of the backs are different. They all have a different picture. But then the message here, they all have the same background picture. You know, and it's well, here she's blowing bubbles, and the message is, my wishes float easily out into the world.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another one with just the clouds and the galaxies, and I am grateful and blessed. And they do have, I love this one, the little child trying to fly the kite. And
Susie said, would you read one for them?
My wishes matter. Yeah, let me shuffle good.
So they all have something to do with wishes, the messages.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's mostly just affirmations.
Oh, Sonia said that Ginger Faye gave her an incredible reading. That's awesome, Sonia.
So for the collective, we have, oh, how pretty. The stars and the candles.
Uh-huh.
And candle magic. Every day, things get better.
Aw.
That's a cute card.
Yeah.
I like this deck. I like to layer my readings with different styles like this, and Lenormands and crystals, and I like to layer my readings with other things. I did pick up another book, but I got it on Kindle, and I wanted to ask Acey about this because I bought it before I asked Acey about it. Gladstone, I think her name is. Do you know who Gladstone is? In herbs.
Oh, do you mean I know exactly who you mean. You mean Rosemary, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's everybody knows Rosemary Gladstar. Rosemary Gladstar. That's
Yeah, it's medicinal herbs. Whoops, can you Oh, darn it. Opened up to the book. I'm not good with this stuff.
Well, she knows her stuff. She's one of the pioneers in the field, and you can't go wrong. She has a
it was very reasonable in price.
Yes.
And she talks about, yeah, rosemary, glad stars, medicinal herbs, a beginner something, and then it cuts me off.
That was a very good choice on your part.
Okay.
Rosemary absolutely knows her stuff.
Okay. And it was reasonably priced, especially for a Kindle book, too.
Right.
So
Mhm.
that's been keeping me busy lately.
I think I might have figured out what the problem is. I did not check when I started my live stream. There are some open tabs on my phone, and that may have something to do with it. I tried to close them, but it'll take me out of it. So yes, Ange, Roots and Waves, she reads with charms.
She's
Um,
real good with her
and
charms.
oh, she's awesome. She has been on. If you look back on one of the former lives in my live list, you might want to watch when Ange was on, because she talked about her charms and how she works with them.
Jackie, it's at tarotarts.com. And it's all one word, tarotarts.com. That's where I get most of my decks from.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know he does not carry any bootleg decks, and he's got wonderful customer service. He's located in California. But yeah, I like him. He's good.
Yeah. Well, how have you added that fusion deck to your wish list, Scott?
I did just pick up.
Hi, Maruta.
Nancy, what's that deck I just picked up? The Unfolding Path.
Oh, yes.
I have
Yeah.
not worked with it yet, though.
I love that deck. It is so beautiful.
I hear a lot of good about it. That's why I picked it up. But I'm trying to really condense and really just keep the decks that really mean something to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you've got too many, after a while, some of them are just like avocado and not. Oh, goodness. I tried to make a joke and I forgot the.
Oh,
What's that
goodness, I'm
sauce you
sorry.
make? Oh, instead of guacamole. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ginger, what are you sipping? Her sip has a little kick.
You know,
I'm
cayenne
I'm
pepper is supposed to be real good for um, sore muscles too, right, Acey?
Yes, it's yes, cayenne pepper is very good. It will heat you up though. You will get very, very hot from it.
Oh,
Because it works on the principle of heat. That's what loosens your muscles and your joints is the heat. So
oh,
you have to be prepared for that, and you have to be mindful. If you put it on with a plaster or something like that, you want to make sure that you're really mindful of how long it's on. And if you're told take it off in 10 minutes, definitely take it off. Don't think, well, I can really feel it, so I'll leave it on longer, because you'll be very uncomfortable. You'll heat up too much.
oh, okay.
There's a
Oh,
question for you, AC. It says, do you use any good herbal tarot decks?
Well, I really like the Herbal Crafters tarot deck, but I like the one that Mel has, the classic herbal tarots that Michael Tierra put out, because he is such a premier herbalist, and he was a pioneer in the later 60s and so forth in herbs. So I think his deck has a lot to offer in terms of, I like his correspondences. We were talking about lemon balm. Lemon balm is the moon in that deck. One of my very favorite plants is Angelica archangelica, and that's the sun. And
Oh,
so I put them both up next to each other on my altar during the summer season to just kind of elevate and exalt them. But I like those two decks the most. I have Charlene Darcy's Oracle deck, Magical Herbs, and I like that too. I really like the artwork. That's more something that I would use in meditation than really communing with the plant spirits. For the plant spirits, those two that I recommended are the ones that I seem to have the most resonance with. But there are many choices, and there are tons of herbal related oracle decks out that seem to be in almost every style of art. I
yes.
like the I like the Plant Spirit Allies deck because the Plant Savers Association recommends it, and I like to support their work because they do a lot to increase the return of indigenous plants to different areas where they've been all but wiped out by development.
What was the title of that one?
Plant Spirit Allies. I wish it was right here. I'd grab it, but I'm going to do a walkthrough of it pretty soon for the fall. So
Oh, okay.
I'll try to get to it sometime next week because because I have a lot to say about it.
Oh, good, good. Well, I look forward to that. Um, our hour has gone by quickly.
It always does. What's with
It
that?
does, doesn't it? It does,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Mel and I will not be on next week. Mel has a prior engagement.
My 50th high school reunion dinner.
Yes.
Wow.
I can't miss my 50th.
Oh
I
gosh, of
never
course
thought
not.
I'd make my 40th.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Well, according to Susie, you're going to be a centurion, so you might make your 100th. You never know.
No, but
Yeah,
I do
just
want to go to
flew
the
by.
50th. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank Acey for joining us.
This was
Scorpio
fun.
Phoenix says, "Wow." Susie says, "Mel, have fun."
Oh, I will. I will.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the following week we'll have to have a full report, okay?
Thank you, everyone, for coming. It's always wonderful to see
Yeah.
all of you and to see new faces, too.
I wanted to thank Mel and Acey and Scott and Jackie and Ginger Faye and Miss Tarot D, Susie Gemini, Ramon from Moonscarrow, Teresa, Gina, Sonia, Kiba, Kristen Louise, Scorpio Phoenix, Mariah, and Maruda. Now, I don't know. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Scorpio Phoenix missed hers because of the pandemic. Oh, I'm sorry. And let's see, you are Scorpio Phoenix is Janice. Okay. I learned something tonight. Well, I learned a lot of things tonight. But I want to thank everybody. Y'all are wonderful. Like Gerald says, you're the best chatters. Well, I tell you what, we're going to hang around backstage a little while afterwards, but I want to thank everybody for joining us. You mean the world to us, and you help us to have a lot of fun. And thank you, Acey.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye.